Hi guys, welcome back to Ghost Paranormal Scientific Family. Today we're at the Rollright Stones, which is not far from where we live. Well, I thought I'd bring you here just a little bit of history, a little bit of information, and also a little bit of myth and legends. The site here, I'm going to take you down to the stone circle. The site here has been here since Neolithic and Bronze Age. It's over 2,000 years old. Basically, there's a lot of information and myth about the stones. There's listed to be burial grounds from excavations that's gone here in the past. I don't know what their terms and conditions are of doing stuff for in the future. I'm not quite sure. As we get around the corner, you can see that we've got, hopefully you can see, we've got Dwayne and Emma there, and we're going to be doing some work in a minute to show you some fantastic stuff with the stones. But I'm going to come to the information board that they've got here. I'm just going to tell you some bits and bobs about it. I'm going to try and get a little bit of extra light. I'm hoping you can see me. Typical, it was lovely sunny skies just a minute ago, and now it's gone dark. The King's Men, basically, the tale of the King's Men and the knights and the king himself is that basically they came up here, some war happened between them and a witch, and apparently the witch casted them to stone. Now this is a legend that's been said for many, many years, and this is a legend that I've grown up with. The tallest stone is said to have been taken to make a bridge over a stream. It took 24 horses to drag the stone from here down the hill. It's a massive big hill. They had a lot of bad luck with it. There was a lot of strange things that went on, so the decision was made to bring the stone back up to the top here. On bringing the stone back up, it took 2 horses to bring it back up, and 2 men were killed. After it kept flipping over and crops failed, it took only 2 horses to pull it back up. Do apologise about that. I should have basically read a little bit beforehand. But yeah, so legend has it is that many years ago that they took the stone from here, took it down to the local village. They put it down basically across a stream as a walkway, to which a lot of things happened. It kept flipping over, it killed a couple of people, to which then they brought it back up. And as I said, it took 24 horses to take them down, to take it down, and only 2 horses to bring it back up. And there has been other legends that have been said here. For one, the trees in the area, I don't know if you can see that the trees go around the circle. Hi guys, give a wave. And yeah, they go all the way around. Now you get a lot of paganism up here. They get a lot of people, they'll come up, and what they'll do is they'll hang ribbons in memory or in prayer. You can do things like stone hugging. You get a lot of messages from the stones here. I have personally done it myself, to which I saw a buzzard in my vision, an eagle in my vision. To which, when I actually stopped hugging the stone and I got back into my normal mind, I look up and there's a buzzard above me. You get a lot of fertility symbols here in the tree, so you'll get at certain points of the year, they'll come and tie eggs in the trees, they'll have certain ribbons. We've actually got a tree, I don't know if I can get over there and show you. I'll just go straight across the middle. Sorry. I'd really like walking across the middle. I'd like to have respect for, if there are burial grounds underneath it, not to walk across the top of them. I'm very cautious of sticking to the angle of the stone circle. But this is a perfect example of, I don't know if you can see this. Where are we? Come a bit closer. But yeah, you've got people that hang different ribbons in the tree, and each colour represents a different prayer or a different gift that may be being given to the site. So sometimes it's not always about taking something from the site, sometimes it's about giving something to the site. I'm in a good location here to hopefully get a better feel for the stones, and you can see all the way around. Unfortunately it's a bit dark, so you could probably be able to see it better when I download it, but unfortunately I can't see it very well. What we're going to do is there's a legend of the stones, and this legend is true. I've actually been here many a times, many a years. If you can count the stones 3 times, it says that it's either good luck or bad luck. Many people will come up here, they will basically do it where they count the stones, they're able to count them twice, but they can't count them 3 times. Going back many years ago, a local baker basically took it upon himself to prove that he could count the stones. So he bought up from his local bakery a loaf of bread for every stone. I believe he bought an extra sort of 6 or 7 loaves of bread with him. They were kept on the side, and every time he went round and counted it, he still couldn't get the same amount of numbers twice. Now we've got Dwayne and Emma. This is the crew. Now what they're going to do is they're going to be very kind. I'm going to stand at a certain point, and what we're going to do is we're going to use Emma as a marker. So we're going to put Emma at one of the stones, and then I'm going to follow Dwayne round as he goes round and counts the stone, and we'll do this a couple of times so you can see the legend of what basically, like, you know, we're talking about. So if I can get Emma, probably best if I stand in the middle, guys. If I get Emma to stand on that one there, we're going to get Emma to stand on this low stone because it's quite significant, and we're going to get Dwayne to start from the stone just there next to her. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the middle of the circle, because of the fact that hopefully this will give you a much better view of what we're doing. So I'm hoping that this works. Can you see yourself from there in the screen? Yeah, cool, right. So if you want to start counting then, Dwayne, from that one, and I'll follow you. You shout it out loud if you like. How many?
74.
74. So that's Dwayne's first go round. Right, when you go round this time, shout a little bit louder if you can. Unfortunately, guys, because we are videoing live, as you can hear, we've got the main road right next to us. It is a busy road. There's nothing we can do about that. But yeah, so you ready? Let's start again.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76.
76 that time, yeah?
Yeah.
And how many did you get last time?
74.
74. So as you can see, Dwayne's added an extra 3, where it looked at one point on that corner there, it felt to me that he'd actually counted a stone less. But instead, he ends up with extras. Right, one more time then, Dwayne, and we'll prove the fact that you cannot count these stones twice. Right, ready?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 76.
So that time Dwayne did get 76. Now, ironic, as I said, I bet you couldn't do that twice, which I said deliberately, because sometimes if you test the spirits up here, they like to prove things wrong. So, Dwayne, we're going to have to do it a 4th time to see how many numbers we get this time. And this is our last time, but if he gets 76, then he'll be able to make a wish. But I'd be very surprised if he does. But let's have a look. Let's see what happens.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76.
So you've had 2. That was 3 at 76, is it?
That's 3 at 76.
Make yourself a wish then, Dwayne. I think that's the first time in history I've ever seen that done.
Wow.
So Spirit's working with us today. Thank you, Spirit, very much for that. Always make sure you give thanks to Spirit. I think you should do it one last time, Dwayne. Only because of the fact that that's not possible. It's not... I've never ever seen that done, and I'm absolutely gobsmacked. So the Spirit has definitely been working with us today. But yeah, if you want to start again then, Dwayne, and do it one last time. I am getting cold, so I do apologise about the screen rocking a little bit, but yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 45, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75.
So there you go, you've just watched Dwayne 5 times now counting the stones. The first and last time he got it wrong. For him to get the 3 in the middle, I am absolutely gobsmacked, because there's not many people that can say they've ever done that. I think that Spirit is, you know, complying with us and actually done that to prove that it can be done. But did the last one, I did it deliberately so that Spirit can prove to you, like, you know, that there is actually some legend in it. I'm going to take you to another area now. I'm absolutely gobsmacked with that. I really am. Like, you know what I mean? There's never, you know, we've been up here hundreds of times. I've fetched many people up here, and never has anyone been able to count the stones 3 times. So thank you, Spirit, very much for that. I just want to point out some of the stones that's here. I don't know if you can see the holes in the stones here, and I don't know if you can see the horizon behind it. Now, legend has it, there's another stone here as well that also has, if I can get it right, if you can see, there's also focal points where you can see the view in the background. Now, you've got the solstice, summer solstice, you've got all of the seasons that come through, but the summer solstice is the main one. And it's said that these stones, if I can get this behind me, it's said that this stone mainly, where you can see through to the actual village behind, when the sun comes up on the day of the solstice, it actually does sit in this point. I don't know the full facts about it. I should have read up a bit more. But it's really difficult because the area isn't wanted to be known like by many people. So it's one of those things that legends talked about, but you don't really get a lot written up about the pagan side of it, and the actual beliefs behind why it was actually built. There's a lot of speculation, obviously, because there's burial grounds and that's under it. But when you look at it from a pagan side, it's seen very much as also where the sun rises and the sun falls, and letting you know the times of the year, and also the changes of the weather. I'm going to go across this side. I'm going to do a view back for you, so hopefully you can see the diameter from one side to the other. It's not very big. I mean, I'm going to take you at some point to Avebury. Now, Avebury on the grand scale of this would make this look like child's play, really. But I don't know if you can see the full circle from here. I'm sorry about me poking my head round then. But as you can see, it's quite tiny. Now, a lot of the stones, you know, there's some that have been moved and been re-erected, but you don't... they don't do it anymore, thankfully. They've stopped moving the stones. They've realised that it causes a lot of negative, bad vibes and energy around here. I'm just going to catch Dwayne because he thinks I'm not watching him, but I am. If you can see, Dwayne's doing what they call stone hugging. I'm glad you've done this, Dwayne, and that's actually the stone I picked last. Now, what you can do is you come up here, you basically... ask the spirits to give you messages, or you can ask them to give you healing. There's a lot of different qualities you can get from it. I don't know if you're picking anything up, are you, Dwayne, on the stone? Sometimes when you touch them, you may just get a vibration, so you may just feel like the stone is like just vibrating slightly. Sometimes it will give you visions in your third eye, which is the part that I've been talking to you about, which we're going to do more about very soon. But yeah, the stones, it's weird. You come in and what you do is you stand normally around and you take a look at the stones and you basically pick the stone that's drawing you. So that's the stone that's saying to you, come to me, use my energy, I'll come and see a vision. Did you get anything, Dwayne?
Tingling my fingers.
Just a tingling in your fingers.
Short of breath.
A short of breath, yeah, I'm short of breath here. I don't know if you noticed, a couple of times I've gone out, I've ended up short of breath. It may just be the cold because we're stood in the absolute freezing cold here. I'm going to take you down to a little monument that there's appeared since the last time we came up. Now, we got a lot of people that come up and they basically put symbols up here of some sort. You'll normally get in the, when it's the solstice, what you'll normally get is in the little crevices on the stones, you'll get like people that will come and put little offerings in the stones. They'll light little candles. Wrong time of the year for it at the minute. As you can see, we've got some ribbons in the tree, but we haven't got any ceremonial gifts. So you normally find that it's more around the spring and summer that you get a lot up here. But unfortunately, the National Trust, you know, obviously come round and remove the items. I mean, to be fair, it'd probably be chock-a-block up here with like crystals and candles and stones and coins. This has appeared since the last time I was here. A lovely specimen of someone's craftsmanship. When I came up last time, you've got the Kingsmen over the road. I will take you to the Kingsmen in a minute. But unfortunately, a lot of these items don't last long because you do get a lot of the vandals up here. The young kids, they come up and they smash it to pieces, unfortunately. So yeah, it's lovely to see they've put another sort of statue here. Now, I don't know whether or not you can see this. We're not going to walk down, but just over in the distance there, you've got the Whispering Knights. It's all fenced off down there. You can get to the site, but it's got quite crowded. A lot of people have been stood on it, so it's been fenced off for the safety of the stones. I'll take you through to the Kingsmen in a minute. I'm just going to go through my list and see if there's anything that I've missed talking to you about this lovely site. I mean, you'd hear a lot of stories about it, but to be fair, I mean, Emma today, this is her first time of coming. She's heard about it but never been here. It's literally 5-minute drive outside of Morton in the Marsh in the Cotswolds. So if you're doing a Cotswold journey, you're doing a visit here and you want something to do, then come up and count the stones. If you can count 3 times, then grant yourself a wish like Dwayne just did. Absolutely fantastic. I've never seen that before. Can we just go through the list and see? Right. So the Rollright Stones consist of 3 groups of stones. So you've got the King's Men Stone Circle, which is what I've just shown you. You've got the Whispering Knights down the bottom that I've shown you there. And you've also got the single King Stone over the road. I explained to you about it was meant to have been a witch. Apparently there'd been some argument between them, some battle, and apparently she was meant to have turned them all to stone. Further legends and further excavational reports have shown that they actually may be burial grounds. There may be more of a purpose behind it on that grounds. And there's also, as I said, to do with the solstice and that. So when the sun rises, there's a lot of things that show you, like if you was using it like a sundial, then it comes up at a certain angle, it shades in a certain place, it creates a lot of different lights. So there's still speculation at the minute on what exactly the purpose of the circle was about when it was built in the first place. But there are a lot of different stories that come from it. For me, the best story is the stones, how many times you can count them. I'm shocked that Dwayne managed to count them 3 times. That's absolutely astounded me, that really has. I've said to you about the fertility and the stone hugging, the ribbons and the eggs. As I said, like with the tree, I don't know if you can see it there behind us. Like, you know, people give ceremonial gifts and they ask for prayer and that. So, I mean, if you're ever in the area and you want to come up and it's something that you're thinking about doing, like, you know, it's worth doing. To be fair, like, I normally find that the circle is nicer to come up here more in the summer and the spring, because it does get quite cold up there. As you can see, I don't know if you can see in the horizon behind me there, but it's a lot of open field. I'm going to take you through now to the night. Then we're going to leave it there for now. We're running out of time. And it's freezing, so we're going to make sure we get ourselves back. I'm just going to read this little report here that states the stones are uncountable. If you can count them 3 times and get the same number each time, you can have any wish you like. So there you go, Dwayne. Dwayne managed to get himself a wish, but it was also nice to show you the first one and the after one, which I did deliberately. To basically show you that, you know, it's not always that the stones can be counted 3 times. Hopefully Dwayne's wish will come true and, you know, have something good from this experience. God, it's freezing. Right, we're just cutting through the gates. Right, I will take you only as far as I can so far to this stone. Stay there, you two, because of the cars. I don't know if you can see it on the post here, but it says the King's Stone. We won't walk all the way up to it. Well, actually we can. You want to... Sorry. So this is the King's Stone. The legend of the king, the name of the Rollright monument, are from legends about a king who met a witch who challenged him. 7 long strides shalt thou take, and if long content thou can't see, King of England thou shalt be. Off went the king shouting, stick, stone, stone, as King of England I shall be known. On the 7th stride the ground rose up before him in a long mound. The witch laughed and cackled. As long content thou can't not see, King of England thou shalt not be. Rise up, stick, and stand still, stone, for King of England thou shalt be none. Thou and thy men hoar stone shall be, and myself an olden tree. And it's stated that there is a tree up here. There's a couple of other sites that have been said there's meant to be a tree that's meant to be the witch. I can't remember exactly where the tree is. It's in a field, unfortunately the farmer doesn't want anyone to go to. A lot of stuff's gone on here where they've basically opened it up as a site a couple of years ago, put in a little cabin for everyone. Unfortunately, kids got up here, it got damaged, it got broken into, got set on fire. So at the minute it's still in the same remains as if it's meant to be. For me, I think personally that Spirit doesn't want it to be something that's gained and governed. Here's the King's Stone. If I stand back a bit, so you might be able to get a bit of a idea of the King's Stone. And then if we come up to the top here, we've got some other stones that are lead down on the floor. As you can see, a lot of ceremonies go on up here. We've got a little fire pit in the one that's here. You get a lot of rituals that go on. You get a lot of paganism where they'll fetch up things like candles and that to burn. Same thing in prayer or in gift to the gods, gift to the king. Look at the amazing view. I don't know if you can see all of this. If I go that way and then come all the way around. If you ever want to go anywhere on a good bonfire night, come up here. It's absolutely fantastic. You can see for miles. I've got some other stones here. As you can see, we've got another pit down here. So another ceremony would have gone on at some point in this area. Right guys, there's as much information as I know to give you. I hope that this has helped you to sort of recognise Rollright for what it is. It's an absolutely amazing area. Got some fantastic details and stories about it. For me, as I said, it's about the stones. It's about not being able to count the same amount of numbers twice. I'm absolutely gobsmacked, like, do you know what I mean? So fair play to you, Dwayne, for that. Fair play to you. Right guys, we're going to sign off. It's absolutely freezing. I'm going to get in my car, I'm going home, and then I'm off to a hospital appointment to see my friend who's in hospital. So wish her good luck, and thanks for joining us. Speak to you later. Bye.